Hello everybody and welcome to the Dream Team League Week 2 battle. I'm versing Greninja this week, and I'm bringing my team to the left here, Kyurem, Lucario, my Cobalion, Manectric, Tangler, Toxapex, and Tornadus. And he's bringing the Melodic, Victini, Heliolisk, Ferrothorn, Zygarde, and Crobat. So all things I thought were potential brings, and nothing I'm really that surprised to see. So yeah, that's unsurprising. My team builder will be in the description if you want to check out and see why I'm bringing what I'm bringing, my thought process behind it. But other than that, we'll just jump into the battle and hope that we can pick up a win for the week. I think I'm the first battle for the DTL this week, so hopefully I can pick up our team's first win for this week and put us on the same put us level with how well we did next week. So last week, not next week. How well we did last week. But yeah, I go with my Manectric here, expecting a Volt switching Heliolisk to start with. But Victini comes in. Not so upset about that, really. Like, I can take a hit from it. It's just going to U-turn out. And I think that told me that it was banded, possibly. I can't remember. I can't remember any of these calcs. I just go for the Hidden Power Ground. Not necessarily something that he would have figured out straight from that Hidden Power. Like, there's a few things that could have hit this neutrally, I believe. Like flying or something like that. But, I mean, Hidden Power Ground is quite likely against his team with the Heliolisk and the Victini. So, anyway, I decide that Flamethrowing is a good idea, and it is against the Ferrothorn there. Does a chunk. It had a potential possibility of knocking it out, I believe, but I will take the damage that I did as he gets his Stealth Rocks up. Not a big deal for me, really. It is kind of annoying. I don't have a defogger at all this week, any hazard removal at all, which is going to allow me to just allow him to chip away at anything that I want to rotate out. Because like I've got 3 regenerator mons, obviously, so I'm going to want to be swapping mons around, and the Tornado specifically does not really enjoy that. But I go for a Thunderbolt there because it was going to knock out the Ferrothorn anyway. And then it was going to hit anything except the Zygarde that wanted to come in, but I wasn't expecting the Zygarde to come in at that point. And fortunately, I do get the paralysis, so I believe I'd figured out that it was Choice Scarfed at this point, maybe. I can't remember, but either way, that's going to allow some things that wouldn't have outsped this Victini to outspeed it now, which is neat, and that means I get a Hidden Power Ground off, do a nice chunk of damage there. He goes for a U-turn, does not take me out again, as he brings the Zygarde in, and I go for an Ice Fang, does a solid 33%, which isn't terrible, but he does get a Dragon Dance off. I was expecting to try and burn a berry there or something like that, but I didn't get to. But I did get the Ice Fang off. Did do a little bit of damage. Put him into close range for my Tangler or my Toxapex to be able to deal with it. 2 Ice Beams from Toxapex would take that out. 2 Hidden Power Ices would take it out from the Tangler as well. I didn't really want to bring Toxapex in if I didn't have to. I could take 1 1,000 arrows, I believe, but either way, my Manectric goes down there to a Dragon Dance 1,000 arrows. I bring in my Tangler because it can tank, and do a ton of damage to take it out. And as he switches it out, I get my Hidden Power Ice resisted by the Victini there, and I bring my Toxapex in as he gets paralyzed fully, which is really lucky on my behalf. Because like he could go for Bolt Strike or something like that. I don't think it would have taken him out, my Toxapex out, but like that's always a risk. And if he had predicted that I would swap out my Tangler fearing the V-Create or something like that, he could have definitely got a nice electric move off or something. But then again, V-Create could have still been good because if I switched into the Kyurem or the Cobalion, it still would have done a decent chunk of damage. He switches out the Victini there, and I get a Toxic Spike up, which is really nice because he's got no way of getting rid of it unless Crobat is Defog. And then I switch into my Kyurem here to take the Volt Switch or Electric Move or whatever because it was the best thing I had at that point. And he brings the Melodic in, which gets poisoned. That means it doesn't get its Flame Orb to go off. And so that's good because we saw that it wasn't leftovers there as well, which is good because it's not going to get the burn, and the Toxic Spike poisoning does more damage than the burn does in the first place, so that's nice. I get the knockoff off on the Ferrothorn there, and unfortunately my opponent misses the Leech Seed. I think the Leech Seed recovery would have put him out of range of the next knockoff that I'm going to just go for. So, I mean, that's quite a game-changing-ish hacks there. But Heliolisk is going to get poisoned, which is nice. I switch out, bring my Tangler in, because it's pretty much the only thing that could take anything from this except the hidden power, which I'm assuming was ice. Could have been flying as well or something like that, I guess, but ice makes sense. So I'm just going to switch my Tangler out and go into Lucario. Not Lucario, my Cobalion. And get my Stealth Rocks up, which is nice. And the Melodic's just going to recover, but the Poison's still going to just keep stacking damage off, making him recover more than he wants. Crobat's going to come in, going to defog here. Like, he could live with the Toxic Spike, but the Stealth Rock and the Toxic Spike, not so much, which is good because that means I get rid of the Toxic Spikes on my the Stealth Rocks on my side too, which means that my Kyurem can come in without taking that damage. My Tornadus can rotate in and out without taking all that damage, and it's neat. Ice Beam does a solid 33%, but he's got leftovers, probably going to have Roost as well, so Ice Beam's not going to be doing enough. I mean, could get a freeze, but I'm going to knock off his leftovers. Black Sludge, I mean, which makes more sense. So AZ's just going to U-turn out and bring in the Heliolisk again. I just get another Toxic Spike up, expecting him to go for something. It's not a Volt Switch. I could still take the Volt Switch at this point if I could. And he's going to bring the Crobat in again, and I'm just going to get another knockoff. Because like he Volt Switched out, so. And Crobat's just going to U-turn out on my Cobalion here, and Zygarde's going to come in. But he's not going to want to take a close combat. Did a ton of damage there. Not going to take it out. It's going to die to poison. I knew that I was going to die to 1,000 arrows at that point anyway, but getting rid of the Zygarde for the Cobalion is not a bad trade-off in my opinion. And that allows me to bring my Kyurem in as he brings his Crobat in. But Crobat's not going to be able to touch my Kyurem really, and even a resisted Ice Beam does 23% there, so I know he's going to have to recover, get my Toxapex in as he recovers up. My Toxapex can take anything that this Milotic's going to throw at it, and it's going to eventually just like run out of recovers and die to poison. So get the knockoff, knocked off the choice specs, so I know that the Volt Switch definitely isn't going to be killing me here either. Thunderbolt is not going to be doing that either. And knockoff into poison, it means the Heliolisk is going to go down, which is cool. I like that. And now I'm going to be able to take the Bolt Strike. Yep, Bolt Strike from the Victini. Luckily, I resist it. Get a Shadow Ball off. That was what I hit. I mean, that would have knocked out the Victini. It hit the Milotic the best out of all the moves I had, and it also hit Crobat the best out of everything except Ice Beams. But I didn't expect the Crobat to be coming in on that anyway, so I just go for another Shadow Ball here, I believe. Yes, and that knocks out the Victini. So that's neat. And then Crobat comes in, and it can't really touch my Toxapex at this point either. So he's just going to Brave Bird. I think Brave Bird at this point is probably his only offensive move. So I'm just going to let him take that recoil damage, get an Ice Beam off, and what I do, I switch out here as he goes. No, I just go another Ice Beam, get a crit there. Because he roosted, he's not flying type anymore, so it's not super effective, but I can get a crit, so it still does a decent chunk of damage. But I don't want my Toxapex to die off at this point because it literally walls his last two people. And my Tornadus took the Brave Bird there, I calced that, and then I was going to outspeed with my Choice Scarf. So I knew that he was down low enough to die to a Hidden Power Electric as well. So I bring my Tornadus in on that, and at this point, it's just a matter of stalling out recovers and just doing some damage. So I just rotate around, make sure my regenerators are... Yeah, see, there we go. Knock off the Flame Orb as he Mirror Coats. Probably expecting me to Ice Beam or something. I don't know. Like, either of them wouldn't be doing that much damage. But yeah, he's just going to keep recovering for now. I'm just going to get my Black Sludge up so that I've got enough health. I get my Tangler in here, takes that Scald nicely, switch it out, expecting the Ice Beam next, which my Toxapex can take. And so just like slowly healing my Regenerator core up here, as he just has to keep offensively attacking or else he's not going to be able to do anything, and brings him low enough. Shadow Ball's not going to take him out, even with the crit there, but that means that he is going to go down to the poison on this turn, and that's going to give me a 3-0 win. Eventually, I would have been able to get my Tornadus in, and like, I was expecting Kyurem to go down on that turn anyway. Scald would have done about, what? Scald would have knocked it out. Shadow Ball from my Kyurem did 43 on the critical hit, so I would have expected about 20%. And then Tornadus came in and just Hidden Power Electric on the next turn anyway, and the Milotic would have gone down before it could recover again. So yeah, that's the first win for the week for the Team Canadians, which is neat. I'm glad I picked up a win for this league this week, and hopefully give my team a little bit of momentum and motivation to pick up some more wins later in this week. I feel like I played around his team real well. Got a couple of lucky hacks, like the Leech Seed missing and stuff like that. Excuse me, sorry. But nothing that I feel really changed the outcome of this match that much. Maybe Ferrothorn could have knocked off Tangler's Eviolite or something like that, but once again, I'm not too worried. Yeah, came out with the win. It was a really well played game by Greninja as well. I don't think that he didn't play well or anything like that. He did. It was definitely a tough battle. I was on the edge of my seat. There was definitely points where I could have lost if I had made a different decision, for sure. But yeah, it was definitely fun, and looking forward to continuing into the next week and seeing if I can pick up more wins in this league. So definitely a neat team to be playing around with, I feel. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll see you for whatever one of my videos you come to watch next. So thank you, and I'll see you then. Peace.